Today, it's in the Swiss mountains we have to seek the great white shark. Olivier Glaizeau, curator of the Zoological Museum of Lausanne, allows me to discover his treasures. It's magnificent. Magnificent. How long is it?
It was measured at 5.89 meters.
5.89 meters. And it was caught...
This one was caught off the coast of the town of Sète in the Mediterranean, 300 meters from the coast.
300 meters from the coast. And how do people react when they find out it was caught in the Mediterranean? What's their reaction?
Oh, I imagine they're impressed and they react differently the next time they go swimming in the Mediterranean.
That's extraordinary, to have the eye just beside you. It's what we dream of doing when we're swimming with them, to be eye to eye like that. Not easy to do.
That's the idea, really. Before it was higher, much higher, so you ended up pretty much below its stomach. And then recently we moved it down. We thought that really people should have the eyes at face level so that the public could see them.
This giant white shark doesn't come from South Africa or from Australia, the Pacific Ocean or the Indian Ocean, but from our Mediterranean, showing us a little more that it was a kingdom whose riches have been stolen. Caught in 1956, when the beaches were already attracting thousands of visitors, this monstrous white shark, the biggest ever stuffed, was much talked about. But it was far from the only one. Everywhere, the development of industrial fishing led to captures in Spain, in Italy, like in France. All that doesn't astonish Jean Lisiardi, who caught an enormous shark himself in 1991, less than a kilometer from the port of Sète. It was a great white shark.
Yes.
And what did you find in its stomach?
Well, I can say, according to what we saw, because it was decomposing, there were two tuna, two small tuna, and two swordfish, which we recognized by the swordfish bill, its sword.
However, the French coasts are far from being the most visited by the sharks. In Tunisia, at least 5 great white sharks were caught during the summer of 2012 alone. It's at the port of Sfax, before the Gulf of Gabès, that I found the fisherman and Professor Predatory, specialist of Mediterranean sharks. When you catch them, do you put them back in the water? Is there an education campaign? You've got
An association. Generally, no. Around the Mediterranean, what is caught is consumed and put on the market. But we're beginning now to make the fishermen aware, to avoid sharks, especially the great sharks, and to free them. For many species, the Gulf of Gabès is a nursery. Sharks come to give birth to their young, and the young live there, therefore, for several months, several years in that place.
How many young do they have?
It depends. Just a few. For sharks. For the great sharks, it's only a few.
Unfortunately, most of the great white sharks caught are females, pregnant females. And their young will never swim in the Mediterranean. The Gulf of Gabès is the reproduction zone for white sharks, but really seeing one is quite exceptional. However, that's what happened to 2 Italian fishermen. The 27th of August 1998, off the coast of Senegalia in the Adriatic, young Nicola Catalani and his father caught a thresher shark more than 3 meters long, an exceptional catch that the fishermen attached to the side of their boat. Suddenly, another shark approached, very alive this time, a great white shark, enormous, at least 5 meters. For several minutes, the predator turned slowly around its prey. Then suddenly, when everything seemed calm, the white shark threw itself at the thresher. It carried it off in colossal bites of more than 15 kilograms. Young Nicola was paralyzed. He asked his father to return to port. But this white shark that terrified the child, is it really that frightening? Far too rare to hope to meet it in the Mediterranean. We decided to go and watch them off the coast of Mexico in the Pacific Ocean, where the great whites are protected. Their fishing is also banned in the United States. It's from the port of San Diego that the boats leave to observe the great whites. We embark aboard the Islander with 10 other divers. It takes a day and a half of crossing to get to the little Mexican island of Guadalupe. It's a World Heritage and Sea Reserve. The island is 35 square kilometers. It's not just a little rock. And around this island, there's a varied and extremely rich fauna. Elephant seals, sea lions, and of course, white sharks, which are there because life is rich and they can feed. The cage is put into the water so that our diver friends can observe the sharks in complete tranquility and especially without scaring them.
It's a mess in there. Okay, anyway. They got
Our friends descend immediately into the water while the crew attract the sharks with a strongly smelling fish juice. Without this trick, not even the most starving shark will approach either the cage or the boat. René, Aldo, and myself have to be patient, though. We must wait until the sharks are fixed in position around the boat. This one seems to have decided to stay. Our entry into the water has to be as discreet and silent as possible, so as not to scare what they still call jaws.
Don't hang on to that.
The great shark has certainly heard us and vanishes in the middle of the school of mackerel. Aldo sees the shark arriving behind me. Approaching the shark isn't so easy. The most feared of predators seems scared of the noise of my bubbles. However, this shark, its flank marked with deep scars, has had more frightening encounters. But like all wild animals, it doesn't trust what it doesn't know. As for the whales, the scars on the fins and the sketch of the color allows each individual to be identified. I also note the movements of the fins, which show the animal is nervous. Horizontal fins, like the one that's approaching, it's at ease. If its fins are lowered to the vertical, it's charging to intimidate me. This large female, which doesn't dare to come close, is surely intrigued, but so shy that she makes the Jaws legend look like it's from the universe of fairy tales. Very fine female, 4.5 meters. I came up close. We swam a bit like that, just above the fin.
As soon as it understands that you're not its predator, and even less its prey, well, then there's a mutual respect. And then it comes to play a little with you. It turns, it leaves, it comes back. That's something for you, an experience unique in the world. On the other hand, You'll have to dive with a rebreather because in the cage, when you make bubbles, you give the impression of being in a jacuzzi. And I'm scared that you'll scare it and then it won't approach the cage. Little morning job. I'm going to prepare the rebreathers for the day.
With the rebreather, you don't make bubbles. Expired air is recovered by the device, which takes out CO2 and adds oxygen. It allows longer and quieter dives. Well, I can hardly wait. This will do it. The bubbles yesterday scared the animals a little bit. Hopefully, thanks to this tool, which he also has prepared for me, Aldo, the rebreather champion, René and me will be able to approach them better, more calmly, without my bubbles disturbing my swim with the shark. Yesterday was all the same a little moment of happiness, posed on the fin, a real joy. But today will be better. Doc Haynes, specialist of great whites, has put the bait in the water. The first sharks approach. To prepare each encounter, I go over my notes and drawings of the day before. I try to remember the attitudes and behavior. I compare them with my photo inventory, so I can recognize the sharks we've seen. It's the only way to better understand them, so they'll accept me. I've done hundreds of dives with sharks, but each meeting with a great white has a particular feeling. So many stories have been told. The shark has been heavily slandered, and always by those that have never met one. Each instant with a shark is a formidable moment of peace, a moment of great serenity, of infinite respect. The great white shark, last of the great predators, perfectly symbolizes all the majesty of the wild. A size and weight can be estimated, the sex can be determined, the fins drawn, the shapes can be described. But how can we express that perfection, that deep emotion that is imposed by the shark and which shakes you forever? It's because it's wild, free, because it escapes us, that the great white shark is for everyone indispensable. The joy is so intense that sometimes we're clumsy, too rushed. So much do we wish to prolong the seconds of grace that this unconquered animal offers. Then one day, for a few seconds, it accepts you. I was eye to eye with it. I watched it watched me, I'd say, but I don't know, 50 centimeters from its eyes. I swam with it, and then at one point I let it glide away, and I found myself at the rear fin. It was magnificent, magnificent.
Look, there it is, look. You see that animal there? It was beside us, 15 meters down. Well, you can only respect it.
Why are there so many sharks here at Guadalupe? More than in the Mediterranean, more than anywhere else. The secret lies on the island.